So there's a genuine numerological fact of interest occurring today and tomorrow. I'm standing before right now my serpent or my snake, Ragnarok Gamliel. He's a rosy boa, and the word Ragnarok is Norse, it's Scandinavian, and it means the twilight of the gods. Gamliel is of Hebrew origin, and it means God is my reward. So every time I speak his name or think of him, and he comes to my mind, he's like an angel and a messenger to give me the messages of his name, a mnemonic, which are in the twilight of the gods, I would say. So in the twilight of the gods, Ragnarok, Gamliel, God is my reward. So I must focus on the one true God. Everyone else is in twilight, and they don't understand, well, what does the one true God teach me? He teaches me that I'm his child, that I'm his son or his daughter. And then what is a son and a daughter of God? What was Jesus Christ? He was the Son of God. And what did he say? Ye are gods. And when the scribes and Pharisees came to him and said, you speak blasphemy, he said unto them, why do you say unto me that I speak blasphemy? Because I say that I am a son of God. When your own prophets have written in the law that when God came to them and said, ye are gods. So in other words, why when I come after and I'm quoting these people and I call myself a son of God, do you rebuke me and say I speak blasphemy? We are gods. And that's a truth that Christ sought to restore. We're children of the highest. And it's something that people have missed and forget. But here we are in the 9th. So today is September 9th. You have a 9 and a 9. So it's the 9th month, the 9th day. And then it's also, interestingly enough, it's 2020. So put the twos, it's 4. There's 4 quarters of a man. There's 4 quarters of the earth. There's, the 4 cardinal directions. And all of these things come into the number of wisdom. 9 is the number of wisdom. It's the time when Odin spent 9 days on a tree. He gave his left eye also for this wisdom. And to understand the runes, though, he stabbed himself with a spear and hung himself on a tree for 9 days. 9 is also the number of steps that Thor took. But what's interesting is here we are, and this is what Ragnarok Gamliel has taught me, because here we are transitioning into this 9 and this 10. So Odin came to understand all things by 9, sure, but Thor trusted in 9 and died by the serpent, even though he slew the serpent, the devil, or the adversary, his foe. So do I trust in 9 or do I trust in 10? Here I am today with my serpent. He has told me to trust in 10. In other words, in the day of the twilight of the gods, don't trust in your own steps. Don't trust in the knowledge you have. Don't trust in what you think is good enough. Go even beyond that. Had Thor taken one more step, as the story goes, basically, the way the story is written is that, yes, had he just taken 10 steps, one more step, he would not have died. And it's an interesting story because he's not in Valhalla, seemingly, at the end of Ragnarok, when Odin is telling the story, that it doesn't seem like Thor's resurrected. So even though he could fight at the good battle and fight with everyone, did he really have the heart and the spirit to be one with them all in the end? Or did he trust in himself and his own hammer and his own strength rather than the unity of everybody? That's a great moral question to ask yourself. Why isn't he there at the end scene? So it's just one thing, a reflection I want to bring to the mind as we're transitioning in these days, and we're coming into the Jewish or the Hebrew Feast of Trumpets, which is on the 18th. So even 9 days from today, which is the 9th, there is another Feast of Trumpets, which back in 2017 was the sign of the Feast of Trumpets of the 7 years of tribulation, basically hell on earth. And here we are right now. So we're coming into this phase of the fourth feast, which would be the Feast of Death, or the feast where the horse of death is led over the earth when this trumpet is blown. And so it's a very peculiar time, even when death is over the earth, when diseases are over the earth, sickness, ailments, do we trust in the doctor and the human wisdom